Hi, the Buddha in your mirror continued. Thanks for joining. Birds sing. The wind blows. The earth turns. Stars flare and die. Galaxies spin gracefully through space. Man is born, lives, grows old, and dies. The patterns of existence are mysterious and immeasurable. Who can even begin to comprehend them? Our mundane lives are, in a way, no less complex. Who can always fathom, for example, the needs of a 3-year-old child, let alone the inexplicable demands of one's in-laws or one's boss? During a single day, we rejoice at times while we despair at other times. Our feelings change from moment to moment. Trivial things can make us temporarily happy, while temporary setbacks can make us inexpressibly sad. Worries easily take the place of happiness. Life may be interpreted as a continual battle against problems, large and small. Never before in the history of the West have so many people turned to the timeless wisdom of Buddhism for answers to the great questions of life, as well as to master the problems of daily existence. This is no coincidence, for we live in an age of experimentation and scientific inquiry, and Buddhism has no conflict with the world of science. Indeed, Buddhism has been called the science of life. Certainly, the images and language of Buddhism have been surfacing with increasing regularity in contemporary culture, from movies and pop songs to magazines and television shows. There is the Buddha of the novel called the Buddha of Suburbia, or the Dharma of the TV sitcom called Dharma and Greg. The word karma has entered the Western vernacular and is blithely applied to everything from health food shakes to nagging relationships. Everyone we don't particularly like or understand these days seem to have bad karma. And there seems to be a zen to everything. From playing golf to vanquishing your foes at the office politics, to perhaps even folding laundry. Obi-Wan Kenobi may not be portrayed as a Buddhist per se, but his acumen in wielding the metaphysical force of the epic Star Wars, a mystic power that permeates the universe and ennobles its masters, resembles both the Buddhist concept of life force and the legendary powers attributed to the Buddhas in ancient scripture. The actual meaning of these words, from the standpoint of Buddhist tradition, has become somewhat clouded. In the West, Buddhism has long been perceived as an elitist or beatnik religion, something to be discussed over espresso, along with radical politics and difficult art. This lasting image stems from the Beat period of Jack Kerouac's The Dharma Buns, the explanatory books of Alan Watts, and countless literary scenes featuring bongos and satori, the Japanese term for enlightenment used particularly in Zen. One could easily gain the impression that Buddhism is primarily a system of intellectual abstraction or a means of escaping from material reality. For many, the overriding popular image of Buddhism is that of an abstruse and impenetrable mystical teaching studied in monkish isolation, the goal of which is inner peace as an end in itself. There is a famous story about the historical Buddha that demonstrates why this is incorrect. While walking one day in Deer Park in Benares, India, the Buddha came across a deer lying on the ground. A hunter's arrow had pierced its side. As the deer slowly died, two Brahmas, or holy men, stood over the body, arguing over the exact time life leaves the body. Seeing the Buddha and wishing to resolve their debate, they asked his opinion. Ignoring them, the Buddha immediately approached the deer and drew out the arrow, saving the animal's life. Buddhism is a beautiful philosophy, but above all, it is about action. If the pop images and adaptations of Buddhism are sometimes offhand and imprecise, they nevertheless point to a surprising truth. The language and wisdom of Buddhism are increasingly being applied to the complexities of modern life because they actually seem to fit. Buddhist concepts and strategies, as applied to happiness, health, relationships, careers, and even the process of aging and dying, all pertain to the truth of modern existence, the actual pulsing reality of life. Buddhist ideas are entering the mainstream because they contain a descriptive power well adapted to the flux and flow of the modern world, without the weight of a dogmatic morality. Buddhism explains the profound truths of life, but it also provides an immensely practical method for overcoming obstacles and transforming oneself. What you learn in these pages can be applied to every area of your existence: family, work, relationships, health, and it can be applied by anyone. This book has the power to change your life, although it is not, strictly speaking, a self-help book. It includes the most time-honored and effective self-help secrets ever formulated. The all-embracing system of thought that is Buddhism. It is titled The Buddha in Your Mirror because its most fundamental insight is the Buddha is you. That is, each and every human being contains the inherent capacity to be a Buddha, an ancient Indian word meaning enlightened one, or one who is awakened to the eternal and unchanging truth of life. By tapping into this vast inner potential, our inner Buddha nature, we find unlimited resources of wisdom, courage, and compassion. Instead of avoiding or fearing our problems, we learn to confront them with joyful vigor, confident in our abilities to surmount whatever life throws in our path. This latent potential could be likened to a rose bush in winter. The flowers are dormant, even though we know that the bush contains the potential to bloom. The Buddha in Your Mirror. See you next time. Thank you.